Any health-related information on the following show provides general information only. Content presented on any show by any host or guest should not be substituted for a doctor's advice. Always consult your physician before beginning any new diet, exercise, or treatment program.
Hello, everyone. Are you ready to live an inspired and empowered life? Today, we will be talking about the power of emotions, part 2. We'll continue where we left off last week. Are you feeling like your emotions are holding you back? Think again. Today, we will dive into the surprising truth. Emotions are the key to unlocking your full potential. Join us as we explore how embracing all your feelings, even the uncomfortable ones, can lead to a life bursting with joy, purpose, and the power to create anything you desire. Get ready to be inspired and empowered. And we are live on Tuesdays at 11 a.m. Eastern on Talk 4 TV, W4WN.com, and my YouTube channel. And I see that we have Allie in the house. Good morning, Allie. And we are also on the podcast on iHeart and many more, and I'll share more about that. And my name is Nanci Deutsch, and I combine my counseling, coaching, and intuitive abilities to transform lives. This show is not a replacement for therapy or counseling. It is for educational purposes only. So, today, we will be continuing, as I said, to talk about the emotions. Now, last week's show, we talked about emotions. We talked about what it's like to be an empath. And an empath is someone who actually absorbs other people's feelings and how you need to clear those energies. And I also said that I was going to share the scale of emotions. Now, I found the scale that I was looking for, and the specific scale of emotions is from that I want to talk, because there's actually a good number of them, but I wanted to talk about the Abraham Hicks emotional guidance scale. Now, the Abraham Material and Esther and Jerry Hicks wrote these books, and they're great books. The Law of Attraction, Ask and It Is Given, lots of great books. And they talk about being able, and the reason why I'm sharing this, it's learning how to go to one feeling to another, to a lower vibration feeling. Now, lower vibration feelings are fear, grief, shame, guilt, anger, rage, frustration, jealousy. Those are all emotion. Those are all lower vibration energies. And then the higher vibrations are joy, love, peace. Those are the higher vibrations. Now, in their emotional scale, they talk about fear, grief, depression, despair, and powerlessness as being the lowest vibration. And then just above that is insecurity, guilt, unworthiness. And then above that, and these are all low vibration feelings. So above that is jealousy, hatred, rage, revenge, anger. And then you get into the middle scale. And the middle scale is emotions like discouragement, blame, worry, doubt, disappointment, overwhelm, frustration, irritation, impatience, pessimism, boredom. And then you start moving into the higher vibration feelings. Now, your job, your task is to go from the lower vibration feelings to the higher vibration feelings. And what they start out, the energy starts shifting when you start feeling satisfaction and contentment, hopefulness, optimism, enthusiasm, eager, happiness, and the highest one is joy, appreciation, empowerment, freedom, and love. So, those are the scales. Okay, so we have a question that came in from Country Corners. Are these feelings or emotions? Okay, so I'm going to describe the difference between feelings and emotions. A feeling is actually something that you feel in your body. It may be connected to a sensation in the body. Your emotion, remember, emotions are energies that want to move, as do feelings. Okay, just want to let you know. I mean, feelings and emotions are like this. Okay, they're interconnected. There's just like a slight little difference with emotions. Emotions, you're usually connected to a mental thought that creates the emotion. Like, for example, not feeling good enough. The thought is not feeling good enough, and then the emotion may be feeling unworthy or feeling, and I'm using the word feeling, I know, because it's hard to describe something that is through the energy of what wants to move or through the body. Because you can't say, or I could say, okay, how about this? The emotion that wants to move, when, let's say, connected to the thought, not good enough, the emotion could be guilt or could be shame or unworthiness. And that could be the emotion. So emotions are connected to the thoughts. I look at feelings as connected to the sensations in the body. So it's a little distinction, but also know I also use them interchangeably as well. Because as I was trying to describe in the beginning, I started talking about feelings, and so know that it can be interchangeable and there's like a slight difference. So the chart, and interesting, they call it the scale of emotions. Okay. So they call the scale that I just read from the scale of emotions. So to answer your questions, they're talking about emotions. Okay. So now, and we have another, Misty X, where can we get the scale? So if you Google scale of emotions, or you Google Abraham Hicks scale of emotions, it'll show up. And you'll actually see the colors and you'll get to see what it looks like. So It's right on the internet, and that's where I got it, and that's where you can get it. So, and I know there was a question that came in last week, and I'm going to add to it. So the question was, how is it helpful to know the scale of emotions? And the reason why it's helpful is to start working on moving yourself up the scale to higher emotions. And I also, as I look at the scale, I'm actually thinking of creating my own scale emotions. But that's at a later time. Just letting you know, because from the work that I've done over 30 years, personally and professionally, I have certain feelings about the energy and the vibrations. So, to be continued. But in terms of emotions, it's really important to allow yourself to move the energy through the body. Now, even if you don't know the exact feeling that's happening in your body, know that you can still move it through your body to help let it go. Because the bottom line is you want to work on letting go of those old emotions and feelings that no longer serve you. And when I say no longer serve you, here's something that I really want you also to know. That every emotion serves you in some way, and that emotion can lead to a state of awareness. And doesn't mean it's important for us to let go of all those other emotions that are not of joy or peace, harmony, love, gratitude, or appreciation. All of those, anything that's not that, you want to let go of. But every emotion you can learn from. So, for example, I'm thinking of the emotion of anger. Now, anger can be this emotion where you can learn why or what's going on for you where you're feeling like you're being treated unfairly. Interesting. Okay, I'm going to get to your question in a second, Misty. Let me finish what I'm saying, and then we'll get to it, or your comment. So being able to move through that energy of anger and know that it is giving you a warning. Let's say you're in a relationship and you're feeling angry because certain needs are not being met. And what you could do, so here's the thing. It could mean that you're feeling things are unfair. That's one way anger comes up. Another way is that your needs are not being met and you start feeling angry at the person because they're not meeting your needs. And it's about understanding what the issue is that's going on for you so that you can clearly communicate your feelings, like your feeling of anger, in a healthy way to the other person so that you can have a healthy communication. If you act out your anger, like screaming, yelling, hitting, then that other person is not going to hear you and they'll go on the defense. So it's really important for you to have cleared enough of that energy to be able to clearly communicate. So that's an example of how emotions can teach you. And knowing, having that self-awareness and self-discovery is huge. It's so important. because that brings you into more consciousness. And the more conscious and mindful you are, the more you empower yourself to make choices and create a more inspired and empowered life. And before I forget, looking at there's reaction, and reaction is coming from your subconscious mind, whereas response is empowering you to be conscious and aware, and it's coming from your conscious mind. Just a quick Psych 101. Your conscious mind is the part of you that makes decisions, that empowers you, and that you are able to feel more empowered when you make a conscious decision. And your decision to join us today, thank you for empowering yourself and joining us on Inspired and Empowered Living. So we want to thank that conscious mind of yours. Your subconscious mind is the part that reacts. And it's reacting to things from your past, and it could be from your childhood, since every moment since your conception to present time have been absorbed into your subconscious mind, and even past lives and ancestral energies are also in your subconscious mind. And all of those can contribute to things, to emotions that need to be cleared. So just want to, and so what happens is you want to go from reaction, from that subconscious mind. The first thing that happens is that reaction, to becoming very conscious so that you are responding in a healthy, clear, conscious way, where you're not acting out your emotions, hurting yourself, somebody else, or the environment, or destroying property like in the environment. And so that's why it's so important to gain a little understanding and deepening of your emotions. So we have Misty, and I want to go back to what Misty commented on. On the scale, there is a yellow part. Like if you look at the scale, and what Misty says is, looking at the scale, it seems most people live in the yellow ones. So the yellow emotions are discouragement, blame, worry, doubt, disappointment, overwhelm, frustration, irritation, impatience, pessimism, and boredom. So in those, yes, a lot of people are living in the yellow place. However, a lot of people are also living in the lower vibration as well, which is the fear, grief, depression, guilt, unworthiness, jealousy, anger. All of those are feelings that many people have as well. So know that those feelings, and the ones that are in the lowest vibration are in like a reddish orange kind of color. Then there's the yellow, and then there's a bright green, and a kind of like an emerald green for the highest vibration emotions. And many people are actually in the red and the yellow. So we can't forget about the red feelings, because those red feelings are very prevalent as well, especially in today's world where there's a lot going on. It's a lot going on individually on an individual level, and a lot going on the world level. And so all kinds of energies, all kinds of anger and other emotions are coming up. So let me go to Country Corners Gazette. Does anyone live in the positive emotions Does anyone live in the positive all the time, or would that be fake? That would be fake. I I'm going to give you, honestly, I don't know of a human being, and we are all human beings living on this planet. I don't know any human that that is in the higher vibration energies all the time. Now, here's the thing. The key is to be able, how quickly you can move from the lower vibration emotions. And I'm going to cluster the ones as main ones, like fear, anger, shame, guilt, and grief. And then you have the joy and the gratitude. Joy and gratitude, love and appreciation, and all of that are high vibration. The other ones are the lower vibrations. And here's the thing. It's learning how quickly can you move from the lower vibration feelings to the higher vibrations. And I'm also going to say, if you can move, the more quickly you have shifted your energy, and that's where self-awareness and self-discovery comes in, because the more you are self-aware and the more that you know yourself, the more that you understand what triggers you, what are your issues, the more you can easily pivot to the higher vibrations. You work through it. You do energy clearing to move through so that you can get to the higher vibrations. And I will tell you, limiting beliefs and emotions very often are coming from some kind of trauma that happened to you as a child. Now, you may not have had major trauma, or you look back and you say, oh, my childhood was good. I don't understand. Because know that something may have happened to you that you may not even be aware of. And sometimes people can even react to developmental stages, like going into kindergarten or high school or college. And even though that's a stage that many people go to, you may have issues coming up around that, or moving from one house to another house or apartment or city, or any kinds of things like that can create limiting beliefs and emotions, and also may be trauma related. So just letting you know that can happen. And your job is to be able to get your clarity to heal yourself and to pivot to the higher emotions as soon as you can. Now, sometimes you can do that in a few minutes, sometimes a few hours, sometimes a few days, or the next day. For example, yesterday I was having a hard day. And then I actually went to one of my healing. I have a village. So I went to my acupuncturist and he helped me shift my energy. I got awareness that my old trauma was triggering something. And so I shifted the energy. And then I woke up and I was able to go into a much higher vibration today. And that's the power of being able to clear your energy so that you don't stay stuck in the lower energies. So I know Country Corner says, is jealousy in the green? And interestingly enough, jealousy is not in the green. Jealousy is actually in the red orange. It's one, according to the Abraham Hicks emotional guidance scale. Jealousy is actually a pretty low vibration, along with, it's just below hatred and rage, also below anger. So according to them, jealousy is a pretty low vibration. So it's not in the green. And I know you said, they always say green-eyed monster. Yes. And in this case, the green-eyed monster is in the red or the orange. So, but that was very cute that you thought that. I appreciate that. So Misty says, my cousin likes to act like she is positive all the time, making others happy, but she is not that happy all the time. I told her she is like a Robin Williams, but I don't want her to fall into the same situation. So, Misty, I hear your cousin likes to be happy, and it sounds like she wants to make other people happy. And a few things about that. So, thank you, Misty, for sharing that example. And one is there are many people who may want to be happy all the time or pretend they're happy all the time because they're fearful of the other emotions that may come up. And so they repress other emotions, and that ends up being a situation where they need healing, and you can support your cousin to get support and help. But you can't make her, you know the saying, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make them drink. Now, here's the thing. If she's in denial that she has other feelings, and denial basically is that you deny something is happening, something is real, like an alcoholic denies that they're an alcoholic, and they're just totally shut out and shut down. So if she's in denial about the fact that she has other emotions and that she may not be happy all the time, you may not be able to do anything about it. She has to get to a point where she's willing to seek support or just be able to move through her feelings. And there's reasons why she wants to be happy all the time. She can have unmet needs, like she feels like she's making a difference. And in some ways she is. But that can also be part of that, may be part of her soul, but it also may be part of her ego. The ego part is the part that's in denial or doesn't want to admit. Maybe she's aware that she has other feelings, but she doesn't want to admit them. So here's the thing. We don't really know what's going on for her. So my question to you is, how does that make you feel? And I hear that you're concerned about her and that you don't want her to end up like Robin Williams because you care about her. And you can only help her if she's willing or admits that she wants help or asks for help. If you can't, then I support you in praying. I mean, I pray for people that I would love to help, but I can't. And to me, prayer is very powerful and it can work to help in ways that we can't as human beings. But God, universe, higher power, whatever you want to choose, it can. So, but my question is, if you're willing to answer, what happens for you? How do you feel when you're seeing that or you're feeling that or knowing that? So if you'd like to share it, if you don't, that's okay. What I'd like to share with you, I'm very excited to share with you that later today, I'm going to be talking. I have a free virtual masterclass tonight. And Rebel, can you put the link in to the masterclass? It's 3 keys to grow your soul-inspired business with confidence. And so for any of you that you have a calling, you have something that you want to share with the world, and you want to make a difference, then join us tonight. And in this masterclass, you'll learn how you can gain the confidence to create more money and move your business forward. Learn how to trust yourself and your decisions, how to feel good enough, worthy, and deserving, and overcome imposter syndrome, and learn the number one issue that keeps you from moving forward to your next level and how to transform it. So join us for the masterclass, Inspired and Empowered Living.com/masterclass. And that masterclass it's here for you. And I hope that you'll join us live tonight. Inspired and Empowered Living.com/masterclass. And I look forward to seeing you later. Okay. And for those of you who may be hearing this show at a later time, if you go to that link, the next one will be up so that you will be able to register for the next one. All right. So I want to answer Misty. I asked her a question. And also, Rebel put the link in the chat so you can also look for the link. So Misty says she just needs to learn to do for herself. She needs to deal with her and not work so hard to make others happy. You are so correct. So correct. And you bring up Misty says, I just want the best for her. And I hear that. I want her to realize she matters too. Misty, that's such a beautiful heart. I just really want to acknowledge you because I feel your heart and how much you care about her, and that you really want her to be able to start looking out for herself. And what I'm hearing is that she is so involved in giving to others to make them happy. She's not looking at what will make her happy. And that's a really important point. And I am going to take a drink of water because I can feel my throat. It's a really important point because the most important thing that any of us can do is to work on ourselves. And there's that self-discovery and self-awareness that is so crucial in moving forward and having a more inspired and empowered life. If you or someone you know is so focused on taking care of others or helping others at their own expense, that is not helpful. And so know that you can't change them unless they want to change, unless they have enough awareness that they're doing that. The only thing that you can do is you can take care of you. You can't change someone who doesn't want to change. And it may be really hard for you to watch someone you love and care about. You see them going down a path. I know for me, and I'll share this, when I watch people that I love and I feel like I can help them or make a difference in their lives, and because I have information and knowledge, and they're not willing to do that. They're not willing to open themselves to new possibilities or new ideas, or even understand what's making them tick or what's going on for them to help them to heal and to grow, because they're so other focused. So if if you know someone, or if it's you, that is other focused, I'm going to support you, if it's you, to breathe and to start asking yourself those questions. Like, what's my truth? What am I feeling? Now, if it's someone else, like I said, you can pray for them. I really want to support you not to offer advice to anybody you love or care about unless they ask for it. If they're not asking for it, don't offer it, because it can get into messy stuff in the relationship. And sometimes it may be hard. Listen, I know what it's like. I know the feelings of feeling helpless and powerless. That's the lowest vibrations on the Abraham Hicks scale. So if you're feeling that way, and I know, the thing that you can do is hand it over to God, higher power, universe. Ask angels, guides to help them. Again, asking, praying for them. Because to me, prayer works, and prayer is an action you can do to support your loved one. And I will tell you that I've had clients that have had children that have that that I'm thinking of one client in particular where she had a child, and her son was going down this path, and she was like, what am I going to do? How am I going to help him? What am I going to do? Blah blah blah. And I said to her, put him in God, a higher power's hands. Pray for him. Ask. Here's one. You know how I talk the higher self, that wise, unconditionally loving part of you? And you know that I say everyone has a higher self. Your loved ones, whether they're friends or relatives, family, people you know at work, they all have higher selves too, even though they're not in touch with them. And you can ask that their higher self help them and get through to them to help make a difference in their lives. Again, you can't change them unless they want help, but you can pray and ask that they get the help that they need, that they awaken to help that they need. So you can ask for them to receive the help that they need, or to awaken or come to new ideas. And so that's what I want to support you all in doing for those that you love and that you may not, and they may not be asking for your help. So we have Country Corners Gazette. One thing we need to realize is we can't help everyone if they don't want to help themselves. Exactly. You can't. First of all, even if people did want help, there's no way as a human being, as one human being, you can help everybody. But you can help those that are willing to be helped, and you can support them. But if they're someone close to you, you don't want to be getting involved. Like as a social worker, one of the things that was like part of the ethics is not to counsel family or friends. And that's because you're too emotionally involved. But you can support them in getting the help they need. And you're not going to be able to help everybody. That's where I can say intuition can come in, is you help those you're being guided to. And only as much as you can. There's limits. And Country Corner says, and we can't feel guilty if we can't help. So those of you who may feel guilty because you can't help, and I've heard that. There's survivor's guilt. There's guilt that There's people across the world that are suffering and you can't help them. There's guilt that you can't help your loved ones. And I want to support you. That's a lower energy. And I really want to support you in learning to let go of the guilt because that doesn't serve you. Hand it over. Hand it over to the angels, your guides. Hand it over to higher power, God, universe. Imagine taking that energy and handing it over. And you could do that for all emotions. You want to let go of the guilt because the guilt lowers your vibration. And you will not allow, often when you feel guilty, you won't allow yourself to have the things you want, to move towards what you want because you may feel guilty and you feel like maybe you're not worthy or deserving or good enough or whatever it is. Guilt can definitely change all of those. And it could stop you from moving forward and creating the life you really want. And so I am supporting all of you to let go of that old emotion that doesn't work. Now, the only time guilt, remember I said in the beginning of the show, there are some times that emotions very often are here to teach us. And guilt can work both ways. There's guilt that is unhealthy guilt, which is what I was talking about. Guilt where you can't do anything. And then there's healthy guilt. Healthy guilt and you still want to let it go. So really want you to know that. But healthy guilt is where you did something wrong and you feel guilty about it. And you want to make amends and let it go. So what I'm calling healthy guilt is that awareness that you have a conscience, that you have a moral compass, that saying, ooh, I did something. I hurt someone, or I did an action or something that affected someone else, perhaps in a negative way, and then you feel badly. So that's how guilt can help you. And again, you want to let it go. You can, once you gain the awareness and the information, that self-discovery, hand it over, let it go. And ask, what can I do? What can I do to make amends to the person? Maybe it's saying you're sorry. Maybe there's an action you need to take. So making amends is also really important as well. So I see, and I have still so much more to share about emotions. And if you want to put it in the chat, if there's something specific you'd like to know about a specific emotion, because we're going to continue this next week for part 3. So if there's a specific emotion that you want to learn to understand or how to let go of, put it in the chat. Or if there's a specific emotion you want to move towards, like how do you move towards more joy or peace or love? And we can talk about that too. So put it in the chat before we end the show. And I really want to support you in knowing that you do have the power within you to create shifts in your life, to let go of emotions that no longer serve you, that are lowering your energy and moving and clearing and changing so that you can feel more positive, more filled with joy and love and peace. All of that is possible. So I want to wish you all a great week, and join us next week for more inspired and empowered living. We are live Tuesdays at 11 a.m. Eastern on talk4tv.com, w4wn.com, and my YouTube channel. And I look forward to connecting with you more. Okay, so Country Corners Gazette said, what did you ask us? I am going to ask it in the beginning of the show next week. Okay, so we'll do that next week. So stay tuned next week for more The Power of Emotions, Part 3. And I wish you an inspired and empowered day and an inspired and empowered week. Have a great one, everybody. Bye for now.